Commander Rebels wants to see what's in the box.
Well, good evening, Glue Troopers, and welcome back to the TARDIS. A box showed up today, and I decided to go ahead and do the unboxing video as soon as it showed up and just make it part of tonight's video. And all kinds of cool stuff was in there. So since I do the unboxings pretty much live, I got a little of this out of order. This from Mr. Hamilton up in Canada, who sent me a whole bunch of more wonderful stuff. He's the one who sent me the Caterham, amongst many other wonderful models. And he did not disappoint. He did some really wild stuff. So I'll tell you what, let's just get into it. I'm going to overlay some photographs I took afterwards because I may not show them to the camera very well. So let's go to Max from about 5 hours ago, and then we'll come back here. I'll wait. Well, hello Glue Troopers, and this is Max from earlier in the day, and we got a box from Mr. Hamilton up in Canada, and he sent us a whole bunch of really cool stuff in the past, and he sent us a magnificently big box, and he's the one that numbers and individually wraps everything. Of course, I've opened the box to make this easier. So he got a letter. Dear Max, Merry Christmas. You've done a fine job assembling the Caterham. Thank you, appreciate that. Here are a few more kits. I wish you and your family health and happiness in the coming year. And the Caterham, of course, is one of the kits that he sent me. And let's see, number one. This, it's a poster from a film with Robert Duvall made in '58. You can see the two posters of Revell kits, I think. You can see on the two posters of Revell kits, I think. The show takes place in a country general store. It just shows in a bunch of kit models every day and locations back then, and everyday locations back then. Well, number two, a kit you already got from Garfield up in Canada, Orange Tabby, but I had already picked it out. So you have two of these wonderful airplanes. And I did some research. Two of the planes landed in Samak at the tip of the Sea of Galilee in modern-day Israel. This area is one of the routes Imperial LA 2B, a nice cutaway drawing of the Heracles. So here's number two. And it is the Airfix Handley Page Heracles. And yes, Orange Tabby did send me one, but you know what? Got two of them. There's that famous old Path A footage of the two of them. Maybe I can make some kind of a diorama or something. And 2B, which I inadvertently opened earlier, is a beautiful cutaway poster of the Heracles. To find a nice place to put that. Okay, number three. Oh, one of favorite kits, the Honest John Missile Mobile Launcher. It says it's 1:60 scale. And this is something, this is about the only thing I'm missing from my missile collection, except for the Pershing and the Honest John. All right, beautiful. I am very happy to have that. That goes beautifully in my collection. I needed that. Number four, the magazine is 100 years old. Science Invention. Go to the next page here. It's very interesting to look through. On the cover is an airplane guided by cables. Maybe not the best idea. Ooh, wow, okay. This will be interesting to go through, and maybe we'll talk about this in a live stream, what they thought the future was going to be. Beautiful. Okay, number five, the postcard dated from 1916 from Felixstowe, England, sent to London, where they made the airplanes. It speaks of an attack on a Zeppelin. It speaks of a Zeppelin attack on Felixstowe, which was widely known as industrial air. I got it from a friend in London. It's a little hard to read the handwriting. See if I can't get to it later. Thank you. I love of history. Okay, 2A. The photograph of the Heracles. All right, I'm getting this a little out of order. Sorry, guys. That's one danger of doing things cold. You get to see it warts and all. Okay. 6 Nautilus by Marusan, SSN, that's the nuclear Nautilus. This is a very important kit. It commemorates the 50th anniversary of the release of the first injection molded kit in Japan in 1958. And someone still play model Marusan. Someone still has the Marusan name out there, so it never really completely went away. I have to go back and watch the video I did on Marusan, but that's great. Number 7, a DC7 by Roden. A nice new 2010 tooling, nice airliner kit, like the artwork. And it's a Japanese airline. I guess that's Japan Airlines. And beautiful. Number 8, the next 2 kits from our guy's Lamborghini collection that I bought around 15 years ago. First one is a Lamborghini, I don't know if it's Joda or Yoda, made by RE, or REI. There's still a debate over how to say that name correctly. And John, if John Kidd at Scale Car Garage, not Scale Model Garage, look at that. I might have to do something with this and maybe have you convert it into a slot car. And number 9, a Lamborghini, how do you say it? M-U-I-R, Miura? Lamborghini Miura's 1/25th scale from Yodel, a Japanese company that I have not heard of before. Includes a fancy remote control system without a motor. I've attached a few motors that I think will fit, and there are some motors in the box. Oh man, I'm in supercar heaven today. Let's see, and number 10, a Ming 100 transporter from the movie Wandering Earth, a science fiction film. I've enclosed some lights if you're interested. And I'll photograph these later. You know what we might do later? Since I finished the Monkeysville, I have the helicopter right here, the Army Apache that I did as a road build that I was thinking about painting today, but you know, life. But with all this stuff, I think what I may do for tonight's show, which probably you're already watching because this is an earlier film segment, is go through some of these kits and take a look-see at them. Well, and there's the motors and the lights he was talking about. Mr. Hamilton, I cannot thank you enough. Guys, believe it or not, I have someplace I have got to be, so I've got to run. So I will hand you back to later in the day, Max. Thank you for everything, Mr. Hamilton. This is awesome. I'm just going to dig into these tonight. And we're gonna talk about them and look at them. So guys, I'll hand you back to well, I guess probably 6 hour, maybe 4 hour older Max. Take care. Model on. Well, thank you for that, 5 hours younger Max. So guys, I thought we would go ahead and look at some of these kits and talk about them. So I'm going to move the camera over here and do a little bit of an unboxing on a few of these, and let's see what's in there, because some of this stuff's a real mystery to me too. Okay, for starters, we've got the transporter from Ming, which is from the movie The Wandering Earth. And we have a decal sheet, which let's see, looks like it's already opened up. So. There's a lot more decals. We're just going to look at one sheet. Okay, that looks pretty good. It'd probably limit the amount of painting and masking that has to be done. And it looks like they might have it for, looks like they have it for the red and gray vehicle. All right, and let's see. This looks like one of those kits that's largely molded in color. It might be intended for model builders who don't have to, you know, so they won't have to paint so much. Because these do look, here, the wheels that are red, and that seems to be the appropriate color according to the box art. And more yellow components. I'm gonna have to go watch this movie now. Several gray sprues and runners here. Everything looks to be crisply molded. Okay, we'll get to the instruction book in just a second. Here's, oh, it's a lot of parts to this. This seems to be made, something about this kind of reminds me of the way Gundam kits are done. I don't know if this is a press fit or not, but I have a suspicion that might be. Wow, that's a pretty complicated vehicle. They did not spare the molds on this one. Okay, this looks just like a fitting. There's nothing in there that I can see. All right. Here we have some major components, and this appears just to be a filler. I don't think there's anything in there. There's some there's a screwdrivers and screws in here. This may be a press fit and screw together kit, although I'll probably still use glue on it. And I'll have to do a build video or something on that. And let's take a quick look at the instruction sheet, the book. Oh, look at that. Color coded, that's nice. Yeah, this is good. I'm liking this. All right, got to go see the movie, see what it's all about. All right, let's move to another kit. The next kit is the Marusan 50th anniversary of the first kit made in Japan. This was made about 7 years before Tamiya did their first plastic kit, which I believe is a Panther tank. And they've got all kinds of promotional stuff with it that I'll probably be saving. There's the little Loon American-made V1 and the support drums and everything that go on top of the submarine. Here's the base, and yeah, here's the submarine. Given the kit we just looked at, you can definitely see that there's been a lot of advancement in the complexity of models over the years, and there's all kinds of promotional stuff behind it. Unfortunately, I don't read Japanese. I guess that's a brochure. And the instruction sheet, which I'm going to assume is a copy of the original. And something else in here. Again, I don't read Japanese, but you can bet I'm keeping the box and all the documentation. Looks like some historical stuff about Marusan, perhaps. Well, that is sweet. Next, we have a Airfix 1:144 scale Handley Page HP40 Handley Page 42 Heracles. And as was pointed out earlier, this is the second one of these I've got, so I'll probably build them together, and that will give me an opportunity to make maybe perhaps a diorama with them. Imperial Airways. And the instruction sheet, the model's bagged, so I can't really take the parts out. I'm afraid I might lose something. Although nice full color. Any biplane's a trick to build, but the kit looks like they've made it about as streamlined as they can. A lot going on there, but I look forward to it. And just look at all the bagged parts. I believe those are probably off the original molds, but I'm only guessing on that. Airfix HP42 Heracles, 1:144 scale. Honest John missile with mobile carrier. This does include the trailer and the truck. And there's the instruction sheet. Pretty straightforward, typical kit of the era. They did make part of the missile in white. The rest of it's in an interesting shade of green. And decals look they should be usable. I need this for my collection to help round up my Cold War missile collection. This is a DC7C from Roden, and the scale on this is also 1:144. Obviously a much more modern box. Oh, nothing wrapped in plastic. Be careful, don't drop anything on the floor. And completely smooth down the side, so I'm assuming it's either a cargo version or the decals have the window. Oh, okay, the decals have the windows on them. Pretty straightforward. I don't want to dig into this too much because the kit, I don't want to drop anything. So that is the Roden 1:144 scale DC7C in what appears to be Japan Airways colors. He sent me a couple of Lamborghinis. I believe you say that Miura. And I guess it's a Jota or Yota. So let's take a real quick look at, and it says RC. And there's the one-piece body of the car. This just begs to be turned into a slot car. And there's a bunch of components. Now, sure enough, there's a little radio controller, you know, hand controller unit. And there's the inside of the glass and everything okay. Again, I'm not, this is by Yodel Models, and I'm not sure what to think of this. I guess I won't know till I build it. There's not too many parts to it, so I think it's kind of designed to be, you know, the RC. I don't think they're looking to hyper detail it. And what's the scale on this? 1 to 24. Okay. And the other one is by REI, or RE. There is still an ongoing debate how to say that. And I should tell you guys that I have actually consulted native Japanese speakers about it, and even they've given me a couple of different answers. And it's probably like asking someone who speaks English, is it tomato or tomato? It just depends on where they're from, I guess. Let's take a quick look at it. Okay, this looks like a slightly more detailed kit, but not terribly. Let's go ahead and take the body out of the plastic so you guys can look at it. I'm probably going to snap some still pictures of these so you can get a better look, because I know the video camera, there's some issues with it. And doesn't seem to be like, oh look, there's the motor and everything. So I don't know if this is intended to be a slot car or, I'm not seeing the radio control unit that was in the other one, but it does appear it is motorized. So I am going to have to consult John Kidd about this, because he is the knower of all things slot car and model cars, or perhaps Lucas C, and see what they think about it. And guys, if you happen to see this video, just go ahead and complex instruction sheets almost. Okay, that's interesting. Wait a minute, there's got to be, yeah, there. Okay, there's a regular instruction sheet here. Okay, what? This is all in Japanese. This is the American translation. Okay, so good on them for that. So we'll see about that. All right. Since we're, you know what the heck? We're doing the Karmer build. It's not due to the end of January. I've got the 1931 Cadillac from Johan that I want to build as part of, because now that I've done with the Monkeys Mobile, but these are like fairly straightforward builds. I'll bet you I could squeeze this in also if and not that I want to do a good job on it, but if I'm kind of quick about it. I mean, this one doesn't even have any markings on it pretty much, but I mean, I think these are designed, you don't even have to paint them. Not that I won't paint them, but you see what I'm getting at? You guys talk to me in the comment section about this. I'm sure some of you guys know more about these things than I do. Well, that was interesting. Well, guys, that's where I'm at for the night. I've got plenty to keep me busy. I'm about to box up the DC3 for transport. Hopefully Sunday I'll deliver that to its new owner, and they'll be able to give it to the family member as the Christmas present. So I'm actually think I'm going to use the big box that all this stuff came in to transport that. That should allow plenty of room for padding. I think it's going to fit. So recycle. Well, guys, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Again, just another salute to Mr. Hamilton for all this stuff. I'm thoroughly convinced that just Canadians are the greatest, nicest people on earth. And I will probably get to some of these fairly quickly, because they fit in with what we're doing now. And some of them are like really easy builds, and others a little more complicated. So we'll be looking to get into some of this stuff. Guys, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're in good spirits and in good health. Take care of yourselves, and as always, model on. and everything's fine. So again, thanks, Mr. Hamilton, and well, and I thought we would go ahead and look a few of these kits